Okay, I'm sorry, but there is literally nothing worse than when you're at dinner with family, a date, or a friend, trying to partake in conversation, but that sound they're making is the only thing you can manage to focus on. I absolutely cannot stand eating with an individual that exhibits poor table manners. Not just the smacking, but the other things too, like chewing with their mouth open in general, not putting their napkin on their lap, or being rude to the server. Let's be real here. We have all been in the situation when somebody's poor table manners piss us off. Some of us take the high road and ignore it. Not me. If I can see or hear what's going on inside of your mouth, I will freak out and lose my cool. I literally fill with rage as well as an urge to smack that person's face. Does this make me crazy? Sure, but not as crazy as the people who seem to think smacking their food is okay, chewing while talking is okay, or that slurping that last few drops of their drink is okay. It is not okay. Poor table manners is the easiest way to make me never want to dine with someone again, no matter how much I love them. My oldest sister, Alexis, is a perfect example. I love her. She was even my maid of honor yesterday. But if I go out to eat with her, I make sure she's sitting on my left side. I'm deaf in my left ear, so maybe I should have mentioned that first. Moral of the story, I will do anything possible to avoid listening to the sound of a person chewing their food. Smacking on a date is a whole new level of disgusting. For me, it might just be the biggest turnoff. Another form of poor table manners that can easily set me off is lack of proper table etiquette. The first thing you should do when you're seated is grab your napkin and properly place it in your lap. I understand if the napkin is one of those cheapy, small paper napkins, and it's not necessarily a fine dining occasion, but if the napkin is cloth, place it in your lap. It's not that hard, people. After someone is all settled in and we're engaging in conversation, I can't stand when people slouch. To me, this just shows that they don't care what I have to say. I mean, again, especially when on a date. Sitting up straight, not leaning over the table or resting your head on your hand shows that you respect what other people at the table are saying. Another common form of poor table etiquette is improper use of the silverware. First of all, why do people feel the need to literally shovel their food into their mouth? The best example I can think of for this is spaghetti. Use the fork to twirl the noodles on the spoon, like so. You just twirl the noodles on the spoon. It's not that hard. The knife is not a saw, so be gentle, people. Also, operation of a fork does not require an entire fist. So when you're cutting your steak, we don't need to see this. Just nice and gentle. 2 fingers on the fork. In addition to the smacking and the poor table etiquette, it really rubs me wrong when people disrespect their waitress or waiter. For one thing, there's no need to be demanding. The world doesn't just revolve around one person. It is so important to be patient with the server. For those of us who have worked in the service industry, we understand that usually when there's an issue, it's not the person working directly with the customer's fault. So for example, if the steak you ordered isn't cooked as requested, it is not the server's fault. It's the chef's fault. So don't be mad at the server. Also, would it hurt to say please and thank you when talking to them? I understand their job is to serve people, but they're people too. I have a strong annoyance for people who hardly tip anything or even worse, nothing at all. Unless the server is treating you straight up like crap, they always deserve a tip. For most, that's how they make a large portion of their money. Personally, I always tip at least 10%, and if they provide decent service, I tip 15%, and if the service was really great, I tip 20%. Those are just guidelines I've always been taught. If I were on a date and the guy were disrespectful towards our server, I would never talk to him and definitely skip dessert. I hope you have enjoyed my long rant about poor table manners. Some of my biggest pet peeves are smacking, chewing with an open mouth, improper table etiquette, and disrespecting servers. I hope you all think about this next time you go on a date or next time you go out to dinner to eat with your family.